You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Good morning and welcome to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, Calvin Butonoff, coming to you live from our home at Radio Park in Racine. You can always join us. Call or text, the number is the same, 855-752-4842. You can also leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter.
And when you leave those live stream comments, we read them. And I just want to say shout out to Cornell. Thank you so much. Great show, Matt and Nair on Air. Well, you know what, Cornell? You're a great show, too.
Thanks
for watching
Cornell.
and listening.
Yep, very much. We really appreciate it. Baseball. I know. Hang on. Baseball tonight. Brewers moving on into the NLCS Game 1 tonight. Brewers hosting the Dodgers. Our broadcast starts at 6:30. You can't listen on the stream because of baseball rules and things like that, but you can listen on terrestrial radio.
Yeah.
Here in Racine and Kenosha, you can catch the game tonight. Our broadcast starts at 6:30 on WRJN 99.9 FM, 1400 AM here in Racine, and 98.1 FM in Kenosha. Brewers hosting the Dodgers tonight at 6:30.
There's times when I wish I could treat baseball with the same indifference I treat
so many other things.
Football, and to even more disregard basketball. But no, I'm in this, and it makes me so. Baseball was designed to hurt us, Jane. That's what I would believe.
Slow and painful.
162 games at least of pain. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Because we love it.
Yeah, it is really
because we love it.
It really is the greatest game.
All right, go Crew.
Go Crew.
Hosting the Dodgers tonight. Our broadcast will start at 6:30. We had hoped to be joined by George King IV with Democrats abroad. We must have had our signals crossed. Maybe it was a time difference issue. But the topic remains. Democrats abroad has talked about this. Democracy Docket has talked about this. GOP's latest voter suppression target overseas Americans.
Which I really don't feel, Jane, that it's that new of a target, because in the, if you look at the micro, yes, they want to target all ability to vote, and anything that isn't on the day in person balloting,
paper ballot
is bad. That anything besides that, bad. But in the last election and the election before that, Donald Trump made it very clear what his intentions were with voting. And he made it very clear that we should be taking a deeper look at what's happening overseas, because there's a lot of fraud that's happening overseas, Jane. There's a lot of fraud. Well, I think it's important to reiterate the point that if you are an American citizen, regardless of where you live, but if you are not living on American soil right now, you have the right to vote. Now, granted, it's tough. There's a process. It's not like, you have to send away for ballots. You have to make sure you're on certain time.
You have to contact your election clerk.
Yes, you have to put the work in. And honestly, I'm not so I think that's a good thing to keep everything safe and secure and the processes up to speed. If you're going to live overseas, yes, you have to put in a little more work to get your ballot. If you want to vote, fine, done. But you have that right no matter what.
For decades.
For
decades.
Yes. And what the right has never been able to square with me, and those who disagree, a lot of people disagree with this, is you want to take away those rights? Okay, you're taking away those rights from military personnel too. He wants to paint the picture of these are disgusting liberals living in liberal European and other Canadian and Australian cities not voting for me, but that's not true at all.
Well, we don't know how these people are voting.
Exactly, but also it's just your right, and you're messing with you're threatening people's rights, I should say.
Federal law for decades has guaranteed that U.S. citizens living abroad can vote in federal elections. Republicans historically championed that.
Yes.
They were all about that, especially from active duty military.
Yes.
But as civilian voter participation abroad has gone up, and become a greater part of the share of the overseas vote, now the GOP is changing its tune. Not a surprise. Recent legal battles, again, this from Democracy Docket, recent legal battles in Arizona, Michigan, and North Carolina show this growing trend to disqualify ballots cast in state elections by U.S. citizens voting overseas. Voting rights advocates say these attacks are part of a bigger strategy driven by shifting demographics and political patterns from the overseas electorate.
I guess I want to know the grounds on which they're placing their request for invalidation, first and foremost. Do they think that it's just voter fraud? That some guy in Ipswich who's lived in Ipswich his whole life who found a ballot on the ground because someone discarded it and said, I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. Now, I'm not going to do an Ipswich accent. I want to vote for Kamala Harris. What are the grounds on which they're basing their request for invalidation?
That's a very good question.
The next question I have, and not the next question, but my thought is based on what you just said, and on top of the data we're getting from last year is, one, we don't know who any of these people are voting for.
No.
We do not at all.
All we know is that they have cast a ballot.
I can say with great confidence and 99.9% certainty that some of them voted for Donald Trump and some of them voted for Kamala Harris. I will bet.
You're going to go out on that limb.
I'll bet Calvin's car on that. I will. But the other point is, we don't know who they're voting for, but what we do know is that in 2024, after a concerted effort from various GOP state parties, they pushed the narrative of mail-in voting, of early voting, bank your vote, vote absentee. It helps. It's not bad. It's not in the face of their leaders still talking smack about it. They were doing this, and it worked to their benefit.
It did. It worked to their advantage.
So the only thing it makes it look like they're just trying to disenfranchise, intimidate voters from all over the world now. That's the only way you can pose this. It's not about free and fair elections. It's not about the safety and the processes. It's about suppressing votes, pure and simple. And I know that because I don't know a single Donald Trump supporter who's been able to frame it in a way that makes it make sense.
Over 4 million U.S. citizens are eligible to vote in overseas voting. This was put into effect by Ronald Reagan. Voter turnout from overseas U.S. citizens overall is at less than 10% of those who are eligible. So the vast majority of people who are eligible to vote overseas don't.
Yeah.
So this is a very small percentage. But here's where it comes in.
Is this called the rub?
Here be the rub. Data from the U.S. Election Assistance Commission found that in 2010, military members and their families cast about 51% of overseas ballots. 40% were civilians. Mm-hmm. In 2020, civilian votes surpassed military votes, making up about 57% of voters. That's when the GOP started jumping in.
So again, I'm going to quote one of my favorite comedians, Stephen Fry. This is going to be plain flavored English. When a group of people see that voting is increasing, or they see possible threats to their power coming forward, which we don't know. Again, we don't know who they voted for. But when they see an increase of a population who's voting that they don't, in fact, trust, or think likes or trust them, they are going to do their best to intimidate and to disenfranchise those votes. What does it say about the party that's leading this? Now, you're going to scream, safe and fair elections. We need to keep them secure. They are. It's proven. Sorry, that science is already in. No takesy-backsies on that one. But what does it say about the party that actually now has changed their tune from 1 year ago?
Yeah, seriously.
What does it say about the party that's doing all of this? What does it say about them that they want to make sure that either all of the availability of voting for a group of people is taken away, or curtailing the ability to vote for certain groups of people?
If their policies are so popular and they have such a mandate, by the way, it wasn't a landslide election. He didn't win by a landslide.
He didn't. No.
It wasn't a landslide.
No.
If their policies were so incredibly popular, why are they continually trying to limit the number of people who can vote?
Yes.
By 2024, Trump and the GOP falsely claim Democrats are exploiting this overseas voting program to flood the system with illegal votes. Trump quoted on his social media platform in September, quote, Democrats are talking about how they're working so hard to get millions of votes from Americans living overseas. Actually, they're getting ready to cheat. They're going to use this program to get ballots, a program emailing ballots overseas without any citizenship check or verification of identity whatsoever. That's all lies.
It's a lie. It's a pure
That
lie.
is all lies.
Pure lie. Pure lie.
Again, we've talked to Democrats abroad before.
Yeah.
People who live overseas
Yeah.
and the process it takes to get a ballot.
Yeah.
It's a process.
A long process, too.
A long process. You
Yeah.
actually have to contact your election clerk
Mm-hmm.
because that's who generates the ballot for you.
Yeah.
It's not like you go to some site on the web that says print off your ballot and mail it in. That's
Or just
not how it works.
Write down on a piece of paper who you voted for and just send
And
it
just
into this
send it
P.O.
in.
box.
That's, no.
It's just, it's, God, I hate talking about this because it's tiresome. And the fact that, you know, there's going to be a subsect of people who just believe no matter what that the ballots are stolen and the election is fraudulent and blah, 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 blah. But the problem we have is that there are another subsect of people who will scratch their chin and go, well, it's actually an interesting topic to talk about. What we should be. No, we have bigger. No. Two things. Stop giving billionaires our money. Release the Epstein files. Those are the things we should be talking about. Not this lying narrative about people voting overseas, exercising their just God-given rights through the Constitution.
That has been in place for decades.
Put in place by the most liberal president, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he was cuckoo.
We got to talk about this because they just get to steal the narrative whenever they want. A year ago, bank your vote. Now they're cheating. Make up your mind. It's very tiresome. Also, folks who voted for Donald Trump who are listening right now, thank you for giving us your time. I mean that. Thank you for giving us your time. You're being as hosed as we're going to be hosed because it doesn't matter. You're red, you're blue. If you're working class, middle class, poor, working poor, doesn't matter. We're all getting hosed together because we are taking our eyes off the ball. We're giving money to billionaires and they won't release the Epstein files. Those are the things that should never stop being talked about.
And we should be allowed to vote if you live overseas. It's been in law for decades. Ronald Reagan said it was okay.
myvote.wi.gov. Call your representatives, even if it's the ones you believe are against policies like this, still call them and tell them what you want from them. Tell them what you expect from your leaders. Tell them they're doing a great job if you think so. But myvote.wi.gov is where you're going to go to contact your reps.
And just remind them they work for us.
And they're getting paid during a
They
shutdown.
work for us. When we return, some exciting news about the laughing tap, the tap of laughing. Stay close. You're listening to Matt Nair on Air on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Good morning. Welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, our resident young person, Calvin on the board, coming to you from our studio at Radio Park in Racine. You can always join us. Call or text at 855-752-4842. Leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. Coming up after the 10:30 news, we'll lighten it up with a segment we call Audio Sorbet, where we take a breath, get away from the news, talk about sillier things. Today we're going to talk about videos that you cannot stop watching.
Mm-hmm.
Could be something you find on Twitter, could be something on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, or it might just be the topic that you cannot stop watching videos of. You have a very specific one.
I have a couple. Like there are ones that bring me great joy and great relaxation too. And I want to open up just a tiny bit more about this. Whether it's your partner, whether it's a friend, Is there someone in your life that you're constantly sending videos to? I have a couple in my life who would say it's like if you
They
look at
send you every video?
Oh, well, no, I do too. Like if you look at our conversations, it's literally like, hey, how's it going? Video. What's going on? Video. It's that. And but yeah, it's a fun. This is gonna be a fun one because those videos, I want there to be feel joy, and those in this day and age is kind of how we find
little bits of joy, man. It's what it's all about. Little bits of happiness. Speaking of happy news,
the Brewers are going to the NLCS.
They are.
Sorry.
And the Laughing Tap.
That is true. The
Laughing Tap has a new home.
The
Greg
Laughing
Bach.
Tap is going to the NLCS this year. We're going to take on the Dodgers, and I don't fare well because I am out of shape and can't run.
No, this is great news.
Yeah.
You and your co-owners of the Laughing Tap have signed a new lease.
Yep.
You had been on, 5th Street for a while.
Yes, we had been in historic Walker's Point for 5 years. 5 years and some change. So I'll give you the really quick version of it. So in October of 2019, so 6 years ago this month, we announced the opening of the Laughing Tap, which was and will continue to be the only stand-up comedy club in Milwaukee City. So there are other places for.
There's one in Brookfield.
I know.
But
there's also Comedy Sports,
Right.
and there is the Interchange Theater. There are places to see comedy in Milwaukee, but as far as stand-up goes, there's no dedicated club, and we were the only option, and we made that Milwaukee's home for stand-up comedy. We opened for about 7-8 weeks because we opened in January 2020. Don't recommend opening a business before.
Timing.
Yeah, that's all what comedy is timing. Closed for 5 months, reopened in the later part of 2020 to incredible standards of cleaning and operations and whatnot. We were doing shows with 12 people. Everyone was masked up, keeping distances. It was tough.
Yeah.
But somehow
you stayed alive.
Exactly. Businesses that have been around for 20, 30, 40, 50 years didn't make it, and the Tap made it. So Fast forward to late last year, we had to make the decision that we needed to leave that space because it just was not advantageous for our company to be there anymore for its opportunities. So we closed the club in June of this year, and we just said, we're going to look. We're going to look, and we had to answer a lot of questions like, we're not closing, we're not done, we're not out of business. And people asking me for months, what's going on? And I put on Facebook, I said, today marks the first day I don't have to say, well, we don't know yet, or we're still working on it, because the new location of the Laughing Tap will be at the George Watts and Son building on Milwaukee's East Side Commercial District. The George Watts building, just outside of Cathedral Square.
Right near Pfister, the Pfister.
Right near Pfister. Yeah, actually like
right around the corner.
A walk across the street, essentially, is going to be the new location. It was constructed in 1925. It's a
great building.
Italian Renaissance design, which features, so there's a lot of Art Deco in there, and that's going to be informing our design choices as well. I'm going to just read what we have here. It says, for over 9 decades, the George Watts and Sons building was synonymous with fine crystal and china and renowned throughout Milwaukee community, serving the James Beard-worthy Sunshine Cake. Constructed in 1925, our Italian Renaissance design, 2-tone terracotta. It was sold in 2019 to Continuing Architecture and Planners, who are our landlords. We've been working closely with them. Great stuff. And they are upstairs. It's next to the Kessler's Diamond Center, so we're going to be next to all sorts of cool jewelry, and it's going to be a great building. And we're starting with the first floor. It's going to be a new club. It's going to be more seating. There'll be more. We were originally at 80 in the old space.
Yep.
We're going to be able to do between 100 to 120 at least.
Still a nice intimate space.
Exactly, and that's what all comedy. That's for me. That I don't want to get into a match about anything, but for me personally, a intimate space, and you talk to great comedians, they want intimate spaces. They want a nice arenas. Arenas suck for comedy. But the point is, we have made the announcement. We have signed the lease. We have a key. There are no announcements on when it will be opening.
Well, you have some infrastructure things you have to take care of.
Yes, there's a bunch of construction and design that needs to be done in that space, but that is the big announcement that as of right now, the Laughing Tap has a new home. And when we have more information, we will give it to you. But we will be staying in Milwaukee. We'll be in the downtown East Side area. And we're very much looking forward to what the future holds for what we're doing for comedy and what we're doing for the area, too. Because It's local business. It's local art.
Local comics.
And local comics.
Yep.
And thriving in a day and age of corporatization. And that's what we
great
strive
news.
for. So
It's great news.
Yeah.
Laughing Tap, new home, George Watts building.
Mhm.
We will update you
Yeah.
as it becomes available. Roger from Stevens Point texting in. Congratulations, Greg.
Thank you very much. If you want to find out more, go to laughingtap.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. It comes out like right now, it comes out once a week, every 2 weeks, because there's not a lot happening per se, but we'll let you know more as we know more. Thank you, everyone, for your support. We truly, truly appreciate it. And I met Patton Oswalt last week. Yeah.
News is next, and then when we return, audio sorbet. Hope you can join us. You're listening to Matt and Air on air on the vast, statewide, countrywide. You can pick us up around the globe on the Civic Media Radio Network. Good morning. Welcome back to Matt and Air on air. Jane Madnair, Greg Bach, our one, our only Cal Zone on the board. Coming to you from our studio at Radio Park in Racine. You can join us, call or text at 855-752-4842. Leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. We do have baseball coming up later on. Our broadcast will start at 6:30 as the Brewers host the Dodgers in Game 1 of the NLCS. You can listen to the game on terrestrial radio if you're in Richland Center on WRCE and Oshkosh on WISS, and here in Racine and Kenosha on WRJN. Again, our broadcast will start tonight at 6:30. Go Crew. It is the time of the show that we call Audio Sorbet, where we lighten things up, take a breath, get away from the news, talk about sillier things, because we all need that.
Mm-hmm.
This came up as we were getting ready for the show.
Yeah.
Because we're always surfing social media and looking for things and looking for topics. And you shared a video genre
Mm-hmm.
that you can watch over and over again because it makes you happy.
Yeah. I mean, well, you were honestly, so it all started with just you. So every day we come in, we're scrolling all the sites. God help us. It's a lot.
There's a lot.
But especially when you're scrolling social media, what's great is that you can, like the Trump administration is taking candy from children and laughing in their faces. But then you scroll another video, you're like, oh my God, it's a dog getting a bath.
Right.
And it's
right.
those little moments that really make the difference. And I'm not discounting the heft of what the news is that we need to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
But it does provide momentary escape. And you were scrolling, and I saw a video where it was just a mashup of people opening up drains to drain flooded areas.
Clearing storm drains.
And there's a whole subsection of the internet, of social media, of people doing that, of clearing storm drains. And I love those videos because you know what's going to, it never ends with womp womp, he didn't get it, my car floated away. It always gets cleared.
There's a happy ending.
There's always an ending that makes you feel good. And I love them. So and I wasn't even, that's the beauty of Audio Sorbet, is that
something innocuous.
it's not only innocuous, but you can't decide. You can't sit down like, all right, what are we going to talk about for every time we do that? It never works or it sucks. It always has to happen in the aggregate. It has to happen on the side. I mentioned it and you said, that's Audio Sorbet.
Audio Sorbet.
That's how we do it here at Matt and Air on Air Industries and Laboratories, is we don't do it.
It's very scientific.
We don't think too much about things.
I'd say that about the whole show.
Yeah. But yeah, so the question we pose, and we'll keep it simple in the first part, but it's very inclusive in its totality, is that what are the videos that make you feel good? Whether it is the genre, like clearing storm drains, or just a video that you love, that you want to make sure.
over and over and over.
Yes. Share those thoughts with us, 855-752-4842, 855-757. You can send the links, not FCC compliant so much, it's just not weird, gross. Send those, no pimple popper videos. Send those to us via text or through the live stream. I'd love to see, if they make you happy, they'll make me happy.
Absolutely.
So tell us, do you have a genre? Do you have a video? And are you the type of person who has a friend or a partner where it's just like
I gotta
nothing
send
but
this to so-and-so.
sharing? Bridget has discovered the videos on Facebook, and it has become just, I'm inundated. So I have to sometimes be like,
Honey?
I'll have you. No. I just have to go back later and watch
All of them.
All of them. So yeah, I could talk about this for hours.
What is your video genre? What is the clip that you watch over and over? Or again, is it a subsection? Is it just people clearing storm drains? What's your thing?
Yeah.
855-752-4842. 855-75-CIVIC. That is our audio sorbet question for today. What is your video that you can watch maybe over and over and over? Or it's just a whole genre of videos that make you happy, take you away for a moment. 855-752-4842.
Now, I know for you, I can tell you right away, because we share this one as well, and that is We Rate Dogs.
Love We Rate Dogs.
And-
I will watch those every day.
And while they are on YouTube, and that's fine on YouTube, it's a little longer than I what I like from them on Twitter is that like straight shot of dopamine to the brain with the top 5 dogs every Friday, because it's beautifully curated. It's wonderfully narrated because they love dogs just as much as we do. But for a while, you and I, before we went to 9, we would watch it because it would post right before 10.
Right before the show.
And I remember there were times where the dogs were so beautiful and the stories were so wonderful that I'm like, I love everything. Emotions are
Get all
free.
emotional.
Oh, absolutely. It was amazing. So yeah, I know you love, but is there anything else that when you're scrolling that you're just like, I got to watch this?
There is one video.
Yeah.
And I think it's only 20 seconds long.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm the only one. I can't be the only one who's seen this.
Okay.
There is a kitten,
Yeah.
a black kitten on its back,
Mm-hmm.
and it discovers it has back paws. It is the funniest thing I think I have ever seen.
Yes.
It is this kitten. It's a revelation for this kitten.
Mm-hmm.
I have another foot.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? And again,
Can I put it in my mouth?
yeah, and you can.
Yes.
But it can't be more than 20 seconds long.
Yeah.
And I will watch that
Mhm.
on a loop over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. So I'm more prone to Instagram Reels, which is the exact same thing as TikTok. I don't know why I don't watch TikTok, but Instagram Reels I just disappear into, sometimes for way too long.
And that algorithm feeds you these.
Yeah, and I've learned how to not control my algorithm, but manipulate it, where I know that if, especially because I'll comment. I know, leave me alone on some of the videos that I dislike, because I just don't like what the narrative they're pushing. It gets me all up in my mad feels. But then when you do that, they're like, oh, you must like these videos about why trans people are trying to take away the rights of gun owners. And like, no, I wasn't. So you have to get into, it's true, those videos are out there. You have to then realize you need to flush it out a little. So you purposely look at good videos, comment on those videos, like those videos, and then they come back
and then
around.
that will feed
Yeah.
your algorithm.
I just like videos of people having, I can get into specifics. I love videos of people having fun, unadulterated fun. And I think that's what we need in this world. There's a man from Korea. He is a very talented guitar player. He posts in Korean. I don't even care what he's saying. You know this, and I know this. The hard rock heavy metal genre is very macho. At least it was in the 80s when we were growing up. This guy is usually standing in front of his computer where he does all his recording. He's playing a metalish guitar. He's usually wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt. He does not look metal. He wears glasses. He has a short haircut, and he plays these blistering solos over the rockiness rock. But while he's doing it, he's just like giving really sarcastic thumbs up or putting his fingers through his hair and playing amazingly, but satirizing all of the trappings of hard rock guitar playing.
I love it.
And it's so fun because he's so good and he understands how ridiculous that genre is. But I've sent those videos to so many people because it's just great to watch. That's one guy. I love him so much.
855-752-4842. What videos will you watch? Because they make you happy. It can be the smallest, most innocuous thing. We were watching a video this morning that spurred this all. A guy cleared out a storm drain, and it turned into a whirlpool. And Greg and I were both like, ooh, look at that. 855-752-4842. Brett from Brown Deer. I will watch dogs and cats saving babies from predators.
Oh, geez.
Oh, there's all kinds of dogs versus bears. Little dogs versus bears.
Oh, my God. Dogs meeting babies.
Oh, dogs meeting babies.
Oh,
good one.
break my heart.
Jay from Eau Claire listening on WCFW. I watch lawn care videos
Yes.
all the time.
So the lawn care video world started as just a couple dudes going through and cleaning up the yards. What it turned into is now some of those guys, they knock on the doors of individuals who need help. Like their houses are like it's like a lot of elderly people who just don't have the means or the family to take care of it.
Right.
And they go and say, hey, this is no joke. This is I'm going to do this for free for you. And you see them at first be very incredulous.
I've seen those.
And then afterwards, they act like they've saved their lives and it's beautiful. Now it's morphed into literally, I'm not kidding you, because of bureaucracy, cops coming and stopping these people and saying, you can't do that. Well, why not? No, there's a
It's
stop
an
and
ordinance.
Yeah, because they want their money. They want their fees. But lawn care videos are amazing.
What video will you watch over and over again, or genre of videos? Because it just makes you happy.
Yeah.
855-752-4842. Ollie from the Northwoods joining us on the line. Good morning, Ollie. What did you want to say?
Hi. Mine isn't really a video or a genre. I am not very technical when it came to getting my first iPhone, but I got it during COVID, and I was missing getting out to see Christmas lights, and so I just took a bunch of snapshots of the different GIFs and strung them all together.
Yeah. Oh.
And sent it out as a Christmas greeting.
Oh.
And then I watched it over and over
Oh,
until
that's-
my phone went kaput, and now I've lost all my photos.
Oh, well, that's a great idea, Ollie. That's a great idea.
Love that. I
love that.
I love that. I'm sorry you lost the photos, but don't worry. Christmas is coming, and there'll be a whole
There'll be a whole bunch of them
boatload
for
of
you.
photos. Thank you so much, Ollie, for calling in. Ronnie in Horicon listening to WAUK. I watch the people who take old rusty pieces of, quote, junk and completely deconstruct them to rebuild them step by step. It's amazing how beautiful and reconditioned pieces become. It's a total waste of my time. I watch them too. But I can't stop watching in order to see the end product. I love watching those too. The only thing about those videos that kind of infuriate me is because you want to believe you can do it, but then they pull out like $10,000 pieces of equipment that will like clean them, and you're like, oh, I can't
Yeah,
do
I
this
can't do
ever.
that. I don't have that.
Calvin, what about you?
I wouldn't say I even particularly enjoy these videos, but they're ones I see a lot and I end up watching them. There are these videos of a hydraulic press and they just smash things.
Slowly.
I just want to crush things.
There's a woman who's made it her gig watching those videos, judging what they're smashing. And it's great because she has a very sultry UK accent. And she'll be like, oh, no, I hate that. Oh, I love that. It's hilarious. Yes, especially when they crush something that's food and it shoots up through the little holes on the hydraulic press.
Even
and
better.
It's like confetti.
855-752-4842. Carmela, you get the last word on this from Milwaukee. Thanks for joining us, Carmela. What do you watch over and over and over?
I watch wild animals asking humans for help.
Oh.
I watched one yesterday where a giraffe came to a guy's tent and it made him follow him, and the baby giraffe was in distress. And then the baby or the mother always come back to them. I've seen like households like a baby bear.
Yep,
or
I saw the bear one.
Yeah, and they always come back, and I'm always like, it's in my algorithm, so
Yep.
I'm always like, oh, wow.
That's awesome, Carmela. Thank you.
I love it.
Be kind.
Yes.
Be kind. Go watch.
Help bears.
Help bears. Just go watch something silly.
Yeah.
We can all use it. Speaking of, we're going to wrap up the show. This shouldn't be a thing. That's next. Stay here on the Civic Media Radio Network. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Good morning. Welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Buck, resident young person Calvin on the board, coming to you from our studio at Radio Park in Racine. You can always join us. Call or text at 855-752-4842. Leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. Coming up on the show tomorrow, our friend and colleague Todd Alba will be here after the 9:30 news. I'm going to be on his show this afternoon. Now I'm joining Todd on Mondays at 2:30.
I wouldn't mind being there.
You can stream.
Oh
in
God,
if you
I
want.
don't like that. I'm sorry I did that. That felt weird. It was like channeling my grandma right there.
Todd Alba joining us tomorrow at 9:35. In hour number 2, Will Westmoreland, who is a farmer from southwestern Missouri, is going to be joining us. We're going to talk tariffs and what he is hearing from a lot of his fellow farmers and how they're faring. Still waiting for this bailout package for our farmers, and it'll be an interesting conversation. So join us tomorrow for Todd Alba, and Will Westmoreland will be joining us. Calvin, it is just about 10:54. That means it's time for
This Shouldn't Be a Thing.
If you ever have a thing you think should not be, send it into Greg and me at Jane Says at civicmedia.us. JANESAYS. Jane Says at civicmedia.us. This is Run for the Border Literally edition.
Yeah.
This is from KYGO 98.5. Calvin found this out of Colorado. Headline reads from Sean Patrick: Denver hosts 31-mile run where racers have to constantly consume Taco Bell. In Denver, there's an ultra runner event called the International Taco Bell 50K Ultra Marathon. 31 miles. The race is a loop through Denver, which includes mandatory stops at 10 local Taco Bells. You have to order something at 9 of the 10 Taco Bells, and you have to eat it. That includes a Chalupa Supreme or a Crunch Wrap Supreme by the 4th stop, one Burrito Supreme or one Nachos Bel Grande by stop number 8.
Okay.
You have to finish the 31 miles within 11 hours. You have to keep all your receipts and your wrappers. Drinks do not count as food.
Okay.
Zero tolerance policy on irping.
What does that mean? Irping?
Irping?
I don't know what that means.
That would mean getting sick.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought
Zero
that
tolerance
was a
policy.
running thing for like burping or something. I don't know. You're reading one of the most insane, unhinged stories ever, and you expect me to know the lingo?
It's the best part of this whole break. Zero tolerance policy on vomiting. If you do, you are immediately disqualified. And you're banned from any on-course remedies, meaning no Pepto-Bismol, no Pepcid, no Alka-Seltzer, no Mylanta. You are able to use the bathroom as much as you'd like. You can only use Taco Bell restrooms along with one other approved public toilet. The Taco Bell 50K is in its 8th year. Their 8th year.
Yeah. Oh, I'm saving all of my thoughts till the end here.
Taco Bell is not affiliated with this run in any way, and they refuse to comment on it.
Oh.
Organizers say it's probably because of their legal team, because if they endorse it, then they could open themselves up to liability issues. So
Lighten up, Yum Brands. My God, lighten up.
there were more than 700 runners took place at the 31-mile run where racers have to consume Taco Bell.
Where do I start? First of all, I am never going to take a runner seriously when they talk about their health. and they're running.
Okay.
Because when events like this exist, this isn't like a 5K. This isn't like, anyway.
31 miles.
You can't just sign up and do this. You will hurt yourself if you're not a conditioned runner. Second of all, here's the thing is, there are people out there who can run an ultra marathon. This is nothing to them. This is like, whereas I'm built for the other side of it. I'm built for the Taco Bell portion of it. So let's make it more like a relay. Like, let's say you're an ultra runner, Jane.
Okay.
You have to run, and then I have to get to the Taco Bell, and I eat.
You do the eating.
Whatever you order, and it must be X amount to X amount of money, these amount of items, and you can't leave until I'm done eating. I could do that,
Okay.
and then you high five, and you go to the next
And then
one.
I run.
But I also like that they think on a planet that somehow Pepto, Pepcid AC, Alka-Seltzer, and or Mylanta will do anything to help them in this situation.
Isn't that adorable?
Yeah, that is hilarious. And the only thing that sucks is that, well, no, there's a lot of things, but the fact that Taco Bell not only won't comment
They don't want to
and they
talk
want to
about
be
it.
part of it, that doesn't mean that they don't go to the Taco Bells that are franchise owned by these people. And I'm hoping that at least the organizers of the event talk to them, because these kinds of events can put pressure on maybe a busy restaurant. And if people are running in to get food and they're sitting there, I don't know. Like I'm talking about the customer service and the people who are trying to provide the food.
This is the 8th one, so I think they've got it down by now.
Also, this is like seriously the most Denver thing. Just short of like Taco Bell and you have to smoke a joint. This is so Denver.
That wraps up today's episode of
This shouldn't be a thing.
Thank you, Greg and Calvin and all of our engineers and everyone at Civic Media. Without you, nothing works. And thank you, most of all, for calling and for texting and for listening and for watching on the live stream. It means the world. Genuinely does. I hope you find some joy today, even if it's just a little bit, and you have the chance to share it. Keep it right here. We got news coming up next, followed by Tom Hartman. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.